Beer Tours, ran back to another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again today, back outside. And I'm going to look at a nice, refreshing type of a beer on these warmer days. It's September here in San Diego, but a lot of times we'll have some of our warmest days of the month. Today we're going to look at a beer from Girardin. This is their Gueuze 1882, commonly known as the Black Label Gueuze, because they also have a white label 1882 Gueuze. This is, it says on the bottle in, I'm guessing Flemish, it says Spontaan Gisting 100% Oud Lambic. So it's really just 100% old lambic. They must not blend any younger versions into it, I'm guessing. I don't know. I have had this before. It's one of the easier, well, not easier, but it was easier to find this one until recently. I've had trouble tracking it down, but I mean, considering how hard Cantillons are to find, you know, I always like a good Gueuze, and this is not a cheap beer, but from my memory, one of the better Gueuzes out there. So I'm trying to see if there's any dates on here to refer to anything, but let's get this thing poured. Oh, by the way, it's a 5% Gueuze, so it's right on the lower end of these beers. So, pours about almost a finger of head, which is pretty good for a lambic. Usually all that acidity just takes the head, just dissolves that head away right away, which it is doing. A lot of carbonation, start swirling that around, a lot of bubbles sticking to it. Color-wise, there's a little bit of like some chill haze going on there, but it's just a really nice orange, just orange, most fairly transparent. Kind of see my fingers on the other side, but getting a lot of chill haze on this glass. Pretty clear though. Let's get the aroma on it. Oh yeah, I love the aroma on this beer. First you get is the tart apples. Kind of goes into that vinegary apple cider vinegar note that I really like on Gueuze. Definitely some funkiness. You know, I'm sure there's some kind of Brettanomyces in here. Give it that kind of funky barnyard, kind of wet hay nose. Yeah, good amount on there, as long as the kind of, it's almost a sweeter kind of apple note on there too. It's sour and sweet at the same time. Yeah, just kind of what I want a Gueuze to smell like. So let's dig in. Cheers. Whew. Wow, I forgot how tart this is. This is really sour up front. If you've never had a lambic or a Gueuze before, and you want to go find one that's just gonna make you pucker up, this is one to find if you can't get a Cantillon. Although recently I had that Cantillon classic Gueuze, this one's definitely more sour than that Cantillon I had. This is wow, probably the most sour beer I've probably ever had, if I had to guess. Up front you get like a little bit of like sweet apple notes, maybe a touch of pear in there, a kind of fruitiness. Then you get big kind of that apple cider vinegar note carries over kind of midway through, and then boom, this blast of just absolute tartness. Kind of right, you're trying to get in those tastes as the sourness is kind of coming into play, and then right at the end, after kind of, while the sourness is sort of dissipating on your tongue, you start picking up all those funky barnyard wet hay notes. Get a bit of a white wine kind of note, like a Chardonnay kind of character on it. Definitely has a wine-like characteristic to it. A lot of people don't even think this is beer. They just think it was like maybe a lighter wine that went bad or something. But it really works for a Gueuze. I'm going to let this one warm up a little bit because I just noticed on the bottle that it does say serve between 50 and 58, and I'm probably a little on the cooler side of that, so get the rest of that poured and get back to you. Okay, I'm back with the Girardin Gueuze 1882 black label version, and drinking on a little bit more, let it warm up a bit more. As it warms up, I get a little more kind of the fruitiness coming through in the beer as your palate kind of gets used to that really big tart kind of bite on the beer. You tend to pick up more of the flavors. Definitely getting more like apple skin, like green apple skins kind of feel to it. Maybe kind of not quite ripened pear, like right before it gets ripe. So it's got a little more kind of tartness to it, less sweetness. There is a touch of sweetness in there with some like sweeter green apple notes. Then the funkiness kind of adds a nice kind of roundness on the back end, and it's still almost as tart as it was when I first opened it. So yeah, this is my favorite Gueuze that I've had, and I've had some good ones. I've had the Three Fontenay and a couple of the Cantillons, and I think this is my favorite. This is like a really expensive 12.7 fluid ounce bottle, but it's worth it in my book. Get a shot again. I'm gonna give this one a big fat A+. Considering how hard it is for me to get some of the other lambics, I mean, although it's been harder for me to get this one lately, but the fact that you can still get this one, yeah, I think it's probably the best. It is the best Gueuze I've ever had. It'd be hard to top this one. And it happened to be also one of my earlier Gueuzes that I even tried, but phenomenal beer, just excellent. A+ for me, worth the price. Definitely a treat on a nice warm day like this. Glad I finally got to this one, so I recommend it if you can try this one to pick it up. So it's going to wrap it up for this review. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.